talked about this idea of using coins, right? Like Jesus uses coins to share that there's something very vitally important for how we live our lives and how we look into the future. And Jesus told a story, so I was thinking about this last week, right when we got done. This is going to bother me, sorry. You know me, I'm distracted easily. Last week I got home, and after we got done talking last week, I talked with Abby, and I said in about 38 seconds about everything I wanted to communicate to you guys but couldn't last week. I don't know why. It's just I got home and I started thinking about it, and I was with Abby and I said, this is really all I really wanted to tell you guys, was that when Jesus was telling a parable of these three guys that were given something, they were given talents. One guy was given 5, one guy was given 2, and one guy was given 1, that all of those amounts were extremely valuable, right? That's what you remember from last week, right? They're all extremely valuable. And so for some of us in here, we might feel like we're the guy or girl with 1 talent, and then we look over to somebody sitting across from us and go, they're one of those 5 talent people. I grew up in youth group with a guy that everything fell into place for him. Everything did. He was extremely talented in all sports. He was a straight A student. And what he wanted to do with his life was he wanted to do 2 things. If he was writing it on that piece of paper, he would have said, I want to be a professional football player and I want to be a doctor. And you know what he ended up doing? He ended up doing both of them. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you're the 5 talent guy. Like, everything just seemed to work out for him. But when Jesus is talking about these 3 guys, really the key thing he says is that if you're given a gift, a talent, even if it's deep inside of you, even if you have something that you're very, very good at, it is not yours. It doesn't belong to you. It was given to you by God. He hardwired it into your system. And so the only thing that Jesus said was disgraceful was taking a talent that you know you have and burying it over here because you think, man, there's got to be 15,000 people that are better doing that than I am, so I'm just going to keep it hidden over here. And Jesus says that's the thing that is disgraceful. It's lazy and it's wicked. That you've been given something to go out into the world and do something with it, but instead you let fear, what we talked about a month or 2 months ago, you let fear take over everything that you want to do. You let it keep it hidden. What did the guy say? I was afraid I was going to lose it, so I just hid it. Well, here's a reality for all of us. The gift that you have was given to you on purpose, and it was given for you to use. Now, here's what we're going to talk about tonight. Only a few verses. They're all on your paper, so they're not any up on the screen. So you're all going to have to read it with me, okay? Now, before I do that, I'm going to give you something. Well, actually, you know what? Let's do this, and then I'll give you something. Ready? Top of your paper. Now, Jesus sat down opposite the place where offerings were being put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. So what are they doing? It's offering time. It's time to give your offering, and he's sitting opposite of that. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins worth only a few cents. Okay? Anybody got any words that jump out to you in that may be significant for us? Any questions? Anything that you've probably heard this story before. We're only going to cover 4 verses, so any words that jump out to you as maybe significant for the passage? Yeah.
Watch the crowd.
He watched the crowd. Why do you think Jesus was watching the crowd? I mean, he wasn't judging them, right? He wasn't counting the money as they were coming in. Like, he can't do that. He's sitting opposite of where they are. So he's just kind of watching the crowd come in and give their money. What else jumps out to you? Any words, any phrases that seem significant in this first part right here?
I have a question.
Go ahead, ask the question.
When
Go ahead.
was this in the point of time?
That's a great question. What's that first word right there? Now. Now Jesus was doing this. Jesus, up to this point, has been dealing heavily with people being, what's a good way of saying it? They were getting pushed around being bossed around by religious leaders. What?
You're being the armchair. Necessary.
Being the
You
armchair.
are.
Okay. Yeah, from Oklahoma. I didn't know that one. So, but they're getting pushed around. They're by these religious leaders, by people that teach the Bible, like me. But I don't push you guys around. I don't bully you guys. I don't make you feel bad or anything. But that's what these guys are really good at doing. These scribes, these leaders, these people who taught the scriptures, they would actually be very, very horrible people to hang around. Because they just make you feel insignificant. They're the kind of guys that would hold the 5 talents in their hands and go, how many do you have? 3? Oh, I have way more than that. 2? 1? Oh, that's embarrassing. I don't even want to be seen with you. I have so many in my hand. They make you feel awful for just being who you are. So Jesus is trying to help these people understand that they're valued. Okay? And then this widow comes in and she drops in what?
2 copper coins.
2 copper coins. Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you each 2 of these. These things are 2 copper coins. These are obviously not, I didn't go back in time to get these, but they're about the same weight and they have the same markings on them as this widow would have had to get. So I'm going to give these to you right here. I'm going to put, no, don't sell them.
What copper wire is it?
Here you go, man.
It looks like a tree. No.
Hold on to these.
It's a lamp.
I have a question. How valuable are these?
Well, don't sell them.
Y and I.
That might be a high. I mean, if somebody's willing to give you that much money, then they're definitely worth
about
it.
29 probably.
Here we go.
Can I put a 50% interest on this?
Where'd you get these, man?
Actually, no. These are so worth it.
These are replicas, obviously, of the coin that she had, that she put in 2 small copper coins. Now,
Well, dang, it was. I mean, it was.
Well, they have like those big hydraulic manpower press.
Yeah, but still,
They
barely knew what 2 plus 2 was. They barely knew how to write.
now listen, guys, listen. You guys can keep these coins. I want you to have these coins. Now, listen. These coins, if you look at them, they're very light. They're very light. They're actually even smaller than a penny. Doesn't seem like very much. And she comes in and she puts in these 2 small copper coins. Now, in comparison to what everybody else has been giving, as far as amount is concerned, these don't even compare. This is not going to keep the temple open. Okay? This is not going to keep the power bill on. These are, as far as value, it's not very much. And especially in comparison to what Jesus has been witnessing this whole time. Is there any reason, do you think, that while Jesus is watching all these super wealthy guys dump in piles and piles of money, that Jesus would then notice that a woman would come in and just drop in this much and would make note of that and tell people about it on and on during his ministry? That Jesus, the Son of God, would remember somebody's sacrifice when she drops in these 2 coins. Write this down. This will be helpful for us as we're going forward. Is that being thankful requires no recognition. Being thankful for something doesn't require any recognition. The things that you are most thankful for in your life, it doesn't require you getting recognized for it. The things that you're most thankful for. Maybe you're thankful that you have a roof over your head. Maybe you're thankful that you have food on the table. Maybe you're thankful because you just got tons and tons of friends. And so you're extremely popular and everybody wants to be around you. Maybe you were just born very, very good looking. And it was like, you're just like one of those people that you just walk outside and you're like, man, you're welcome. Okay? Yeah,
I feel like Jeremy's
please. No, please. You're welcome. Okay? Maybe you walk out there and you say that. But here's the thing. The things that you're most thankful for in your life, you don't require other people to come up to you and say, listen, you are very this. You have a lot of this. You don't need people to recognize it. We're getting into Thanksgiving, and the whole point of Thanksgiving is that whatever you're thankful for are the things that you're most willing to give. That's why it's Thanksgiving. Giving thanks for what you've been given. So the things that you are most thankful for are really the things that you don't require other people to pat you on the back and go, hey, you're lucky because of this. You go, no, I know I am. I know. I've been raised in a wonderful, loving family, and I'm super thankful for that. You don't have to walk around going, hey, by the way, nice to meet you. I'm Jeremy. I was raised in a wonderful family. Yeah, it's not one of those things you usually greet somebody and say that. It's something that just comes out of you. You're thankful for it, and what you do is you turn around and you pour that back into people. What you've been given, if you're really thankful for it, is something that you can easily give away. Because you notice when other people don't have it. Tell me, for those of you that have a lot of people around you that love you, that pour into you and care about you, when you know people that don't have that, does your heart hurt for people that don't have that? Do you have compassion for people that don't have what you have? Those are those things that you go, I'm very thankful, and now I can do something. I can give something away. And last week I said to you, you have an abundance of something to give away. What is it? An abundance. Like abundance means you have a ton of it. Jesus said that this guy got 5 talents, which was 75 pounds of gold times 5, which is a lot of gold. Okay? A lot of it. Okay? And that's a heavy amount. If you just know how much you have, it's something that you want to give away. Now listen to this. Write this down. We're using this to keep going. Jesus was using his eyes to see other people's hearts. Now this is what digs into who you are, okay? Now, I'm your youth pastor, right? I can't look into you and see all that's going on in your mind and all that's going on, the pain that you feel in your life. I can't see that stuff unless you tell me, right? I can't just guess what you're going through. But Jesus looks deep into who you really are and sees something inside of you that even you don't see. A future. Jesus looks into your life and knows what kind of potential that you have, that he'll constantly say, follow me. Because if you follow me, I'm going to take you to places that you could never even imagine. So Jesus looks and uses his eyes to see something that nobody else sees. Now, hypothetical, you have those coins in front of you. And for you to give those coins back to me, if I were to say to you right now, okay, give me those coins back. You probably wouldn't have a problem with it, right? You wouldn't go, oh man, like I was mounting my, Ethan, you can hear, Ethan, you can have them. Thanks, man. See, no, you hold on to them. See what I mean? See, exactly what Ethan just did. There's not like this, like my future is riding on what I just gave you, those 2 coins. You're not saying that. Why? Because I just gave them to you. All I did was give you. You had no anticipation. You had no idea that I was going to give you that tonight. So here's what you have to think about. Everything that you've been given already has been given to you by God. So giving it back to him should be just as easy as you giving me those 2 useless coins that I just gave you. It should be just as easy. Why? Why is it just as easy? Because it's not ours anyways. Jesus sat down from a distance and watched people give. And it made no difference the amount that they were giving. He looked past how much they were giving and looked into why they were giving. Why do you guys come to youth group? Why do you guys come to church? Why do you guys sing songs? Why do you guys listen to me talk? I mean, is it so that when you leave here, you can tell somebody, like, I guess I'm a good person because I go to church? Or I guess I got everything together because I go? Or do you come here because you think to yourself, I just might be radically changed by the God who created me in 27 minutes tonight? It could happen right here. And I know you're tired of hearing me say this, but I always go back to it. And I always think to myself when I get home, why do I tell them that story every time? But guys, listen, I am doing what I'm doing right now at 37 years old because I was sitting right where you're sitting in when I was 15. And I know God said something to me. God said, I want you to be a youth pastor. And now 22 years later, did I do the math right? 22 years later, here's where I am. You telling me that you can't be changed on a regular Sunday night just like this? That God can't say something to you that just changes the trajectory of your life? That you go, maybe I do have something to give. It's just these 2 coins. Let's finish the story. Do I have time? I do have time. Ready? Mark 12, 43 through 24. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, truly I tell you, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all the others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put everything that she had to live on. There's some phrasings. What do you think jumps out to you? Now, when Jesus says, truly I say to you, he's saying, disciples, please, I'm only going to say one statement, one sentence. Listen to this statement very, very carefully. That is Jesus' way of saying listen carefully whenever he says truly. Truly. Listen. Please listen to these words. What do you think jumps out to you in these words? Any words in here that seem like they were said by Jesus on purpose that's significant? Anybody got anything? Anybody?
All the others.
All the others. All of who other? Who else is there? Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. All of them. Okay. Now, is this? Oh man, you're going too fast for me because I'm gonna get there. Okay, but give me something else. What else? What are some words? Just throw a word out there that jumps out to you.
All she had.
All she had. Okay, she's given all she had, and it was more than all the others. Anything else? Any other words?
Love.
What? Love. There. Okay. What else? Give me something else. These are all. This is all. Lainey ties it in. This is what she did. What did she do? What did she give out of? She gave out of love. All the other guys were doing it out of recognition. Remember number 1? But she was given out of something deeper than that. Jesus saw her heart and said, she loves me. This is what she's given out of. Write this down, number 3. God builds the kingdom using our small steps and our faithful crumbs. Just the things that you think are so small that aren't going to make a difference. The moment that you decide to speak up when nobody else is speaking up for somebody, and you think, oh, nobody remembers that. Those are those moments that God uses. The moment that you show somebody else that they actually exist in the world and you acknowledge that they're alive, you may think that that's not a big deal, but everybody else in the world could have ignored them that day, and you did something that nobody else did. The things that are just you being faithful with the crumbs that we've been given. We don't have much, right? We don't have a whole lot. Actually, we've been given more than we could ever have enough years in our life to do with. If you are faithful with those crumbs, God will multiply and give you more and more and more. Now, remember last week? 5, 2, and 1. Now, the guy that gave 5 had it multiplied to 10. The guy that gave 2 had it multiplied to 4. But if that guy who had 4 multiplied that to 8 and then multiplied that to 16 and multiplied that to 32, all of a sudden the guy that was given less to begin with now has way more than all the other guys. Jesus said, if you are faithful with these crumbs, I'm going to give you more. Just do the faithful thing. Just do what you're called to do at your age right now. I know you're 11. I know you're 13. I know you think that you can't do anything of value until you're 25. Until you got to number 2 on the list. You were like, number 1, probably nothing. And then when you got to 10 years from now, you were like, well, I could probably be doing something pretty significant by then. And then 20 years, you're like, okay, finally, I'm useful. Okay? Like, finally, I'm an adult and I can add something. You are starting to multiply it now. Did you get that? You're starting to multiply what God's been given at your age tonight. This is your opportunity. And then what Andrew said, which is what I think is the great final point as we wrap it all up, is this. The widow's gift was more valuable than all the other gifts combined. Did you get Andrew? Andrew, when you said this, when you said all of the others, do you realize that the widow didn't give more than this guy, and this guy? She gave more than everybody else combined. Jesus made a point of saying all the wealthiest men in the world could gather all the money and drag in pounds and talents of all this gold. They can do all that. And this widow who gave those 2 coins that you're holding in your hand, the widow who gave those coins, she gave more than all of the other guys combined. Like almost like a slap in the face. Like there's not enough wealth in the world that will be more than what that widow gave that you're holding right there. That gift that you have the opportunity to go and you can just bury it and say, it's really not that important. Nobody's life is going to be changed from these 2 coins. I want those coins that you're holding to represent what it is that you're going to give to the world. Right now it looks super small. When I was your age, I went, I'm going to be awful at this. And you know what? I would be. I would be the worst youth pastor in the world if I did this all on my own. I have to every day get up and say, I'm doing this because God's called me to do it and He's going to equip me to do it. Otherwise, can I say this? Everybody's getting mad at me when I say this? Otherwise, I'm going to suck at it. Okay? It's going to be awful. Nobody will hear anything of any value. All of you will go home the same people as when you got here if it's just my words. It has to be. People that say, how do you know your God's real? And I say, because I'm a mess. And the only reason I'm able to do anything of value is because He's real. This last part, she gave at a place. Now think about this. This is what I want you to think about. You guys said it right at the beginning. Where's Jesus saying this? And He said Jesus is now around a group of people talking. This last part, she gave at a place where she was treated like the very least human being in the world. These religious people were treating her like garbage, would make her feel small. And then she walked in, and what she give? This. But you know what? This was all she had. Even if she gave 1, that would have been significant. I mean, if this is all she owns in the whole world, just giving 50% of it would be impressive. But she goes into a place where people treat her poorly, and Jesus watches this, and this woman gives all she has to a bunch of people that don't appreciate her. Why would you think she would do that? Because she wasn't giving this to those guys. She was giving this to God. This is what she was thankful for. Everything I have is because God gave it to me in the first place. So this is all I got. And that's all anybody heard. Everybody could laugh and hear, and they're like, really? I just put in a bag. And you could hear the clanging of the coins echo throughout the temple. And everybody thinks, that gift was worth nothing. And Jesus says, that gift is worth everything. So, when I'm going to ask you this again, and we're going to close with this song, I'm going to pray and then we'll close with this. What do you think about this? What you give now really, really matters. If it's represented by those 2 coins that you have, if you just throw them on your dresser and you find them 3 years from now when you're moving, you rake them over into your hand and you're like, what is this? I know these aren't real coins. I just tried to put them in a vending machine and they got rejected. What are these? I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what have you done to start multiplying that gift that God put deep inside of you. It's represented very small right now. But if you let God use it, you're going to change the world, I promise. Let's pray, and then we'll finish out. God, tonight, we're very thankful for this opportunity to have a church that says we want to pour into teenagers' lives because teenagers matter. We want to hire a youth pastor from Oklahoma because we feel like he's going to be used by you to make an impact. And God, we all stand in this room tonight and we're all just trying to get a fix on where you want us to be in this world. A year from now, we might still be living right here. We might still be in classes. We might still be doing homework. We might still have a schedule that resembles everything we're doing right now, but you're going to be using us to make an impact every day. And so, Father, tonight as we sing this song, I just want those words to just really hit home. That you would speak to our hearts. And that you would remind us that you are the victory that we're looking for over everything else. In the middle of whatever battle that we're fighting right now. Maybe we're battling just this idea that we're useless. There's just nothing for us to give. Maybe we're battling the fact that there's just not enough people in our lives pouring love into us and we feel alone. Maybe we're battling this virus that's in this world. We're sick of it. We're sick of our stupid schedule. We're sick of just not doing anything. We just feel like we're moving nowhere. God, I just pray that that battle we would give up to you right now. You would say that in the end, you will be victorious if we stick close to you. And we give you this time. In these last 3 minutes, we give to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
I know this is anyone for you, but just listen to the words.
I apologize.
y'all to sing that with me because I know that was really hard for me to go through because I know that I've been through stuff. I know that everybody's been through stuff, but I know that the Lord is here and He's going to fight our battles for us. He's going to be by our side even no matter what's going on in our lives. And so I want y'all to really feel the lyrics of this and know that you are not alone. I'm gonna sing a victory. I'm gonna sing a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I'm gonna sing a victory. I'm gonna sing a victory. For the battle belongs to you, Lord. I love each and every one of you, and you know that me and Jeremy are always here for you, no matter what's going on in your life, so you can always come to us, and we'll always be there for you, and we'll always pray for you, and know that the Lord is always by your side.
Thanks for being here tonight, guys. Don't ever fight a battle on your own. Don't forget, next Sunday night, Thanksgiving in here. Have an awesome week. I love you guys.